Welcome to Mainland Television, Nelson's regional station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and in today's news, free parking, to be or not to be? If that is your question, well, now we can tell you the answer. Weather cleared for the blood moon, search continues for Down Chopper, Arts Festival kicks off next week, over 50s walking more than a few miles, Sea Dragon, a growing brand, and NMIT is to open on the weekend. This week, the topic of Nelson's free parking came back to Horton Council in their Chamber of Decisions. I went along to watch the process. First up were business owners explaining their stance over keeping free parking in the CBD. One business owner, Benj & Co. from the greengrocer, stated that his figures for the last 3 years showed that he had a growth of 5%, and since free parking, he had taken a 5% decrease due to people taking up parking for the long term. He said terms had to be changed, but was still in favour of maintaining the concept of free parking. Businesses who presented were in favour of maintaining the status quo, with some paid time added to the equation. Nelson City Council CEO Claire Hadley asked councillors to not pick and mix recommendations made by administration on the free parking, but to vote on them as a package. Councillor Ward spoke about wanting more space for pedestrians, including green spaces, so that people would stay longer and spend more. This was supported by Samantha Stevens of the Youth Council, who said teenagers were wanting a similar environment in the CBD. Councillor Parker made the point that motorists were the only commuters not being subsidised, and a car parking building needed to be looked at for the CBD. Councillor Laurie made the comment that they had little choice but to vote for the recommendations provided, but he also put forward the idea that Nelson retail landlords lower their rental prices to do their bit to help businesses. Councillors unanimously voted for the proposed recommendations, which now mean for car owners that the first hour of parking is free in all areas, but a ticket must be displayed, with an increase in fees to $1.50 per hour after that. Hours of warden patrols has also been increased from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m, which is an hour earlier than previously rostered. That means that this arrangement is for a trial period from the 20th of October until the 6th of April 2015. We sent Mainland Stephanie to speak with some businesses about the free parking issue.
So free parking, has it been a good or a bad thing for Nelson?
I think it's been really great. It's bringing more customers in store. We have a lot of great feedback from the customers as well, and I live in Richmond, so I come in a lot more as well.
I think it's been a good thing. You know, we've got more people coming into our business centre. Yeah, definitely good.
It's been a fantastic thing. I think it's drawn a lot of new people into the centre city, not being scared of getting the fines that everybody was scared of getting. But saying that, we've always had free parking here. But yeah, I think it's a good thing and it should be kept on.
It's a good thing for the Nelson because it's good for the retailer because more customers comes in.
I think it's been a very good thing for Nelson that they've had free parking over the winter. We certainly need to have something that attracts locals into town during that quiet period. So yes, I believe free parking has been a good experiment, and I'd like to see it again next year.
Well, for the winter, I think it's a good thing. We do then get our locals into the city CBD and using the parking. But in the summer, I came yesterday to town and I couldn't get a car park. I was sitting waiting for somebody to reverse out because the car parks are already too full. So for summer trade, we've got a lot of tourists, we've got a lot of visitors. I really don't actually agree with free parking for the summer, particularly since it is ratepayers, paying for that. Why aren't we actually asking our people to come into town and still pay for their $1 parking?
The great thing for Nelson, I think it's really, really important. And it's a point of difference between ourselves and our retail competitors in Richmond. Having free parking just makes us more, approachable, and our customers in particular like to spend a good 1 to 2 hours in sitting with us. So yeah, it's a real good point of difference.
Tell us about the free parking petition.
Oh, the council have got a free parking condition here, and they want everyone to sign what they feel we should be doing. So you've got 3 categories. Option 1, return to pre-July status. Option 2, retain current free parking everywhere. Option 3, introduce a 1-hour free park through the CBD. And if anyone wants to sign it, go into your local shops, they've got them there.
The blood moon, as its nickname, appeared to many around the region who remained awake for last night's eclipse, which began at 9:17 p.m. with the total eclipse visible across most parts of New Zealand at 11:27 p.m, lasting for an hour. This event was a repeat of the one witnessed in New Zealand earlier this year when the Sun, Earth and Moon are aligned, a total lunar eclipse occurs and sees the Moon passing close to the centre of Earth's inner shadow, called the umbra. This filtering and refracting effect of Earth's atmosphere creates a blush on the face of the Moon, giving it a reddish hue, and this commonly called name of Luna Rossa. It will not be seen again in New Zealand skies until 2018. Searching will resume today for a Robson 44 helicopter piloted by Damien Webster, missing since Tuesday morning in steep bush-clad terrain 35 kilometres west of Motueka. High winds that prevented helicopters from being able to search for long yesterday have now died down and 4 helicopters have returned to search the area. 5 land search and rescue teams spent the night in the area and will be joined by 2 further teams and a search and rescue dog today. No emergency beacon signal has been detected from the missing helicopter, and the search area is based on information from the helicopter's tracking system. The area being searched is 5 kilometres in each direction from the last recorded point. The Nelson Arts Festival kicks off its 20th year this year with a light projection show at Founders next Thursday evening. We sent Mainland Stephanie out to catch up with busy festival organiser Sophie Kelly of Nelson City Council, who managed to squeeze in a few moments of time with us from her manic schedule so we could talk to her about what people could expect to see in the festival this year.
Next to me is Sophie Kelly, and she's going to talk about the Arts Festival, which starts next week. Sophie, what are you going to kick it off with?
Well, we like to start the festival with the Mask Parade and Carnival. That's the traditional way for us to really kick off the celebrations. However, we do actually open on Thursday, the day prior, just the way the scheduling works this year, and with a big show that we've programmed consciously to mark our 20th anniversary, which is Beyond, which is a big circus performance from Australia. So that opens the festival on Thursday evening. Yeah.
The Mask Parade is always a great way to get children and parents involved. What is this year's theme?
This year's theme is Earth, Wind and Fire. So I think a lot of people have been really excited about that. There's different directions that people can choose to go, of course, or interpret that. One of course, is the elements of Earth, Wind and Fire. So there's all sorts of lovely performance possibilities to use there. But then, of course, there's also the disco, which a lot of sequins and glitter and colour. So I think people are really excited excuse me, about the theme this year. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the creations.
Can you tell us about the kind of acts people can expect to see?
Right, well, on the Mask Parade and Carnival night itself, once the parade finishes, there'll be roving performances taking place throughout the street. We've got all sorts of local street performers doing different circus acts and fire dancing and things like that. We have the main stage itself on the Carnival stage. We've got a fantastic lineup this year. We have a group called Latina Aotearoa, who are a Latin sort of dance group, and then we've also got the headline act is a fantastic band from Auckland called Sal Valentine and the Baby Shakes. So lots of sort of blues, rock and roll, and sure to get everybody dancing.
How is the sale going so far?
Sales are going great. We're really pleased with how the sales are tracking. We've got lots of sellouts already, which is wonderful for this time out from the festival. Great response to the program. There's still plenty of tickets available to shows. I always like to encourage people to get in there as quick as they can so they don't miss out. Yeah.
Who can they expect to see perform for these street shows?
Well, the street shows are primarily local performers, so there'll be performers and artists from Body in Space, Community Artworks, those kinds of organisations. Yeah.
What time will they be?
So that's part of the mass parade and the carnival, so that'll be after the mass parade finishes. So anything between sort of 6:30 and 10:30 at night, there'll be different performances taking place around the streets of Nelson.
What about parking? Where should people avoid to park?
Good question. So parking is definitely an issue on the night of Mass Parade and Carnival. We do ask people to start coming and dropping their children or in the masks and all their things off quite early in the day, from about 4 o'clock ideally. We just ask that people consider or be mindful that many of the streets will be closed, so to park a little bit outside of the main centre and just to walk into town would be really helpful, or even better to carpool, to try and share cars driving in and out of the centre. Yeah. I would say is just encourage people to go and pick up a brochure. It kicks off next week, so there's programs here at the Nelson City Council, public libraries, most of the retailers around Nelson, and also at the Theatre Royal is where you can purchase tickets, or online of course, nelsonartsfestival.co.nz.
With Nelson Trails and Tracks being accessible to people of all ages, the Motueka Over 50 Plus Walking Group are doing the region proud with regular day excursions and some overnight trips, making sure our tracks are kept well worn. We caught up with this energetic bunch at Nelson's Centre of New Zealand last week, and this time the footage will follow, where we spoke with Jill from the group. It's a busy day up here on the top of Centre of New Zealand, and we've come across this group of active people, and we're just wondering, what are they doing here today?
Hi, well, we're the 50 plus group from Motueka who love this beautiful country so much we can't get enough of it. So each Thursday we go out for a walk, and we're usually out from about 9 in the morning till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Wow. Walking all over this lovely area.
Very nice. And you're from Motueka, so you do all the tracks around the top of the south?
Yeah, we go on all the tracks that are this side of Takaka and over the hill, and all around Motueka itself. And we're very fortunate because local landowners allow us to walk on their land, so that's really good. Yeah.
And after people see this, they might want to leap out there and join the 50 Plus Working Group. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, they can look in the local paper, because each week in The Guardian we have a little piece which tells you where we're going that week. And my telephone number is there, so they can give me a ring and I'll give them all the details. And we'd love to see them.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and have fun for the day.
Thank you very much.
Nelson Marlborough Institute of Technology's annual Open Day is being held at the weekend for the first time. On Saturday the 18th of October 2014 from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m, the Institute will be throwing open the doors of its Nelson and Marlborough campuses. Visitors will be able to talk to tutors and current students, look around the facilities, take part in interactive activities, and take guided tours of the campus. NMIT Youth and Communities Manager Grant McNeil said that the Open Day was traditionally held during the week so that secondary school students could attend. However, an increasing number of initiatives with schools such as the Top of the South Trades Academy meant that secondary students now had many opportunities to visit the campus. Nelson firm Sea Dragon, which manufactures fish oil for health supplements, boosted their first half sales by 17% after securing supply of raw material to help bolster their production. Revenue rose to $2.45 million in the 6 months to the end of September from $2.08 million a year earlier. The Nelson-based company said in a statement, sales in September made up the majority, bringing in $1.06 million, a record monthly income for the company. Earlier this year, the company secured supply of a new raw material for its squalene oil production. Sea Dragon now has consents for building a $7.5 million refined fish oil factory in Nelson, splitting the costs with its landlord, and hopes to complete it by June next year as it looks to diversify away from squalene production into higher value omega-3 fish oils. The plant will be able to process in excess of 5,000 tonnes of the fish oils from hoki, tuna, salmon, enabling it to grow its share of the US $30 billion market for fortified foods and drinks. It expects the new factory to contribute to earnings from the second half of the 2016 financial year. In January, Sea Dragon raised $4.1 million in a share sale to existing investors, exceeding its $2.5 million target. The funds, combined with $2.5 million from the sale of a stake in Snack Media and $2 million from a share placement, were to be used for working capital, debt payment and funding the new Nelson plant. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.